It starts at 12:01. Not a second before. Not a second after. That's when I first heard it. The knock. Always the same, slow, measured, 3 times, like it was making sure I was awake. I remember freezing the first time, phone in hand, thumb hovering over the record button. But I didn't press it, because I thought it would stop. But it didn't. That was 7 nights ago. I didn't sleep that night. Not because of fear, at first, but because the sound wasn't coming from outside. It wasn't at the window. It was inside. Inside the walls. I told myself it was old plumbing. Maybe rats. My building's from the 60s. Things creak. Things groan. But walls don't whisper your name. They don't whisper it like a question, or like a prayer. I've lived alone for 3 years. I chose this place because it was quiet. Too quiet, some said. I liked that. No upstairs neighbors. Corner unit. Just the faint hum of traffic when I opened the window. But now, even the silence feels occupied. I started recording the sounds, just to prove to myself I wasn't imagining it. But when I played them back the next morning, nothing. No knocks. No whispers. Just dead air. And then, a soft voice, buried under the static. It said my name. I played it over and over. Slowed it down. That voice wasn't mine. I don't talk in my sleep. I don't whisper in other tongues. And when I showed the clip to my friend Jonah, he just frowned and said he couldn't hear anything. Not even static. I thought he was messing with me. Until I played it again. And the voice was gone. Even from my copy. That's when I knew this wasn't something I could share. Because whatever it is, it doesn't want to be seen. It wants to be heard. And now that I've heard it, really heard it, it's closer. Not just in the walls. Not just at the door. It's inside the house. Inside the mirrors. Inside the wires. And I think it's inside me. So I'm recording all of this. Not to prove anything, but to remember who I was before it began. The days feel like empty placeholders now. Wake up. Make coffee. Check email. Scroll past news I can't bear to read. I've always been someone who liked quiet. The hum of the fridge. The creak of the old floorboard near the window. The drone of a podcast. While I work. But now, I hear everything. Even the quiet feels too loud. I try to fill the space. Keep the routine going. Pretend everything's fine. I still make 2 eggs. Still water the dying plant by the window. Still check for mail I never get. It's muscle memory now, habit pretending to be sanity. But dusk is getting heavier. Not darker, just heavier. Like the day is afraid to fall asleep. I used to love twilight. That blue-hour glow that made everything look like a painting. But now, I watch the light leave the room like it's taking something with it. It always leaves the corners dark first. Like shadows have seniority here. Like they know what time it is. I caught myself today, staring at the hallway for too long. I swear I saw something shift. Not move. Shift. Like the walls adjusted. Like the air remembered something I didn't. I shook it off. Told myself I need sleep. But I already know the truth. There is no sleep after midnight. I've started keeping notes. Writing everything down the moment I feel it. Every noise. Every flicker. Every silence that sounds too full. I tell myself it's research. But I think it's just a way to make sure I still exist. If I see my words, maybe they can't take me. Not all of me. Not yet. Tonight I almost forgot what day it was. Time's been folding over itself lately. I check the date, but it doesn't land right. It feels borrowed. Or stolen. I blink, and it's dark again. It's always dark again. Jonah's been texting. I haven't answered. What would I even say? Hey, man. Something's living in my walls and whispering my name through the vent. You should come over sometime. No, I'm not ready for someone to look at me like I've lost it. Even if I have. I sat up tonight, waiting. 11:55. No music. No shows. Just silence. I wanted to prove to myself it wasn't real. That it was some sound bleed from upstairs or a dream I convinced myself into. But dreams don't watch you. And this, whatever it is, it's always watching. 12 o'clock came and went. I held my breath. 12:01. Then I heard it. Knock. Not a creak. Not the building settling. 3 slow, spaced knocks, deliberate. Knock. 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 Like it was testing the wall. Or testing me. I froze. Didn't blink. Didn't move. I waited for it to happen again. It didn't. But the silence afterward felt swollen. Like the air was holding something in. I wanted to record it. But my hands shook too much. I wasn't scared, I told myself. Just startled. I turned on every light in the apartment. I stood by the hallway wall and knocked back. 3 times. Nothing. Until I turned around to walk away. That's when it whispered. I don't even know where it came from. The floor vent. The air duct. It didn't sound human. Not evil, not monstrous. Just wrong. Like someone trying to copy a human voice. Or something that hadn't spoken in a very, very long time. I backed into the kitchen and waited. The whisper never came again. But I could feel the pressure behind the wall. Like if I put my hand on it, I'd feel something breathing back. I didn't sleep. I lay in bed with the lamp on, door locked, trying to convince myself it was still nothing. That I imagined the whisper. That I wanted to hear it. But the truth is, I think I've been hearing it for longer than I realize. I think it's just louder now. I wrote it down, word for word. The knock. The whisper. The voice that said my name. And one more thing I don't remember writing. A single sentence at the bottom of the page. Let it in. I didn't write that. I didn't. I waited again tonight. Same place. Same chair. Same dark. I told myself I'd be ready this time. Phone charged, recorder running, lights dimmed just enough to see. I even whispered into the room before midnight. Go ahead. I'm listening. I don't know why I said that. I wish I hadn't. 12:01. This time, no hesitation. Knock. Same rhythm. Same wall. But then something different. A sound I couldn't place. Like a voice, but layered, muffled. And it was speaking, but not in English. Not in any language I knew. And still, I understood it. Not the words. The meaning. It felt like someone whispering inside my head with a mouth full of broken teeth. I couldn't make out the shape of the words, but they sank into me. Like they belonged to something older than this building. Older than the voice I use when I speak. The lights flickered. All of them, at once. And in that split second between dark and light, I saw something at the edge of the hallway. Not a shape. Not a face. Just the absence of everything else. It was like my mind filled it in before I could stop it. I blinked and it was gone. I didn't breathe for almost a minute. I couldn't stop shaking. But the whisper didn't stop. It kept going. Like it was waiting for me to answer. I checked the recorder after. Nothing but static again. Until I ran it through an editor. Slowed it down. Reversed the audio. There was a voice. My voice. Saying something I have no memory of. Open the door. Over and over. Open the door. Open the door. Open the door. I ran to the door. Locked. No one there. But the air smelled different. Stale, sweet, rotting. Like breath trapped too long inside a sealed room. Something slid under the door. Just a single torn page. I didn't recognize the handwriting. But I recognized the feeling. That sick, sinking feeling that comes when you know you've made a mistake. But it's too late to undo it. I didn't sleep. Again. I made coffee at 4 a.m. I told myself it was probably stress. Lack of sleep. The mind's a weird thing when it's tired. It fills in blanks. Hears music in static. Sees patterns in the dark. I started reading about hypnagogic hallucinations. The brain's in-between space when you're almost asleep. You can hear voices, see shadows. I told myself, that's it. That's all it is. I'm not haunted. I'm just overworked. But there's one problem with that. Hallucinations don't show up on recordings. They don't cause lights to flicker. They don't drag their breath across your hallway while you're wide awake and clutching the recorder like a weapon. And they don't leave notes under your door. But I still clung to it, logic. Like a blanket I could wrap around the dark. Maybe the knocking was just heat expansion in the pipes. Maybe the whisper was wind, filtering through the vent like a flute. Or maybe I'm just lonely. I haven't had a real conversation in weeks. Jonah stopped calling. My mom still thinks I moved away for a job that doesn't exist. Isolation makes people weird. Makes them see things, hear things, want things that aren't there. I cleaned today, rearranged my books, washed dishes. I even opened all the windows, let the sunlight in. It felt like the house was holding its breath, waiting for me to admit something I wasn't ready to say. I found another note this afternoon. I don't remember writing it, but it's in my handwriting. It just said, listen. That was it. Like I needed permission. I told myself I wouldn't check tonight. I even left the recorder off. But my hand still hovered over the power button when the clock turned. And deep down, I knew. It didn't matter if I recorded it or not. It would still come. It was daylight. Bright. Warm. I hadn't heard the knock for 2 nights. I started to believe maybe, whatever it was had lost interest. I even left my door unlocked. Just to feel normal again. I was halfway down the hallway, mug in hand, when I caught my reflection. Something was wrong. It sounds dumb when I say it out loud, but I was standing still, and my reflection wasn't. It smiled. Not a friendly smile. Not even a human one. It was testing the face. Like it didn't quite know how to wear it. My legs locked. I didn't even drop the coffee. I just watched. The glass began to fog, like someone was breathing on the other side. And then I saw it, behind the reflection. A door. Right in the hallway. But it wasn't there when I turned around. I swear to you, it does not exist. The door opened. Slowly. Something reached out. I couldn't move. Couldn't scream. The hand was wrong. Too many knuckles, skin like paper. And then, it grabbed my reflection. It pulled me out of the mirror. Not me, the one inside. It didn't break the glass. It just removed the version of me that was watching. I saw myself disappear. And yet, I was still standing there. The mirror cracked. Just a single line down the center. Like a wound. And the hallway in the reflection. It was gone. Replaced by something else. Fog. Trees. Movement. Like a forest on the other side of the glass. I covered every mirror in the apartment after that. I even taped a towel over my phone screen. I didn't want to risk catching a reflection by accident. Because now I know something horrifying. I don't think mirrors show what's real. I think they show what wants to be real. I left the recorder on. Not to catch it. Not this time. Just to prove I wasn't going insane. I fell asleep around 11:30, and I dreamed of the woods. The ones from the mirror. I walked for hours, maybe days. No path. Just instinct. I followed a whisper. But it wasn't coming from behind me. It was coming from inside me. I found something. A recorder, just like mine. It started playing without me touching it. And the voice I heard was mine. But it was saying things I'd never said. You left her. You closed the door. You never came back. My voice. Flat. Mechanical. Accusatory. I felt something press behind my eyes, like a memory being forced forward. It dragged up a day I never talk about. When she asked me to stay, and I didn't. I had my reasons. But they weren't enough. The voice changed. It became her voice. Then Jonah's. Then, my mother's. Each one accusing. Each one saying the same words in different mouths. You don't get to forget. Not here. The forest folded in. Like paper. Like it was closing around me. And then, I woke up. The recorder had been running the whole time. I played it back, expecting silence. Instead, the dream was on the tape. Word for word. My voice. Her voice. All of it. But I never spoke. Then the final line, low and almost too quiet to hear. We only speak what you hide. Not a memory. Not guilt. Something else. Something inside my memory, building a home. The tape ended. But I swear, I heard it in the room, not the speaker. Not a recording. A warning. Next is Jonah. Jonah never calls me. Not since the hospital. And especially not at 1:11 in the morning. The phone lit up beside me, and I froze. I knew before I answered. He'd heard it too. The video was shaky, dim. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Behind him, the hallway in his house seemed off. Like it went on longer than it should. Too many doors. It knocked again, he whispered. 3 times. Same time. Always the same. I didn't tell him about my door, or the woods, or the mirror, but somehow, it was already with him. He pointed the camera down the hall. I locked that door an hour ago, he said. It creaked open, slow, deliberate, then shut again. I felt something watching me through his phone. The screen froze for a second, just long enough. When it came back, I saw something behind him, standing still, mimicking his posture, but Jonah didn't see it. His face glitched, just for a frame, and it was my face, looking at me, mouth moving, whispering, "You left me here." Then back to Jonah. The hallway behind him seemed to twist, fold inward. He dropped the phone. It landed sideways, spinning, then stopped. I heard breathing, not his, and then a voice. "You promised you'd stay." Not hers, but it wanted to sound like her. Something moved past the camera. Legs. But wrong. Bent the wrong way. The screen went black, but I still heard it. Footsteps. Wet. Something dragging. Then silence. The call ended. No goodbye. No scream. Just gone. I tried calling back. Straight to voicemail. I sent a message. Delivered. But never read. I recorded the call. Played it backward. Just a hunch. And the last line. Clear as day. We're not just watching anymore. It's moving. It wants out. I posted everywhere. Reddit. Discord. Some paranormal subforums I hadn't touched in years. I sent DMs to people I hadn't talked to since high school. Do you hear knocking at 12:01? Does it whisper in your voice? Does the hallway ever stretch? Nothing. Just silence. Or worse, laughs. They screen capped my thread. Called it creative writing. Said I had a gift for fiction. I was begging. And they thought it was a story. I called my mom. She didn't answer. The text came a minute later. "Sweetheart, are you taking your meds?" That word again. Well, I guess if you're quiet, obedient, forgetful, you're doing well. This wasn't new. When I was little, I used to see it in the hallways. The black room that didn't belong. I'd scream, cry, point. Every time. Nothing's there, honey. But it was. I messaged my old crew. Back when we used to sneak out, chase storms, get high and laugh in cemeteries. Jonah's gone. Something's happening. Please believe me. One reply. Dude. WTF is wrong with you? I kept pacing. Talking to no one. Checking the time every 30 seconds. 11:38 p.m. 11:52. 12:01. And nothing happened. No knock. No whisper. The recorder was blank. Like it never happened. Like Jonah never called. Like I'd imagined everything. I closed the laptop, but just before it shut, I saw something. One frame. Jonah, eyes gone, mouth too wide. Not a glitch. A message. The hallway door opened by itself. Slowly. Inside was nothing. But not a normal kind of nothing. A deep nothing. Something that felt like falling into a mouth. I stopped reaching out. No one believed me. Not friends. Not family. Not strangers. So I sat in the dark and whispered the truth. They begin after midnight. But no one believes me. I know this room. I know every creak, every crack in the paint, every dent in the wall from my clumsy nights. So when I woke up and saw a door that wasn't there yesterday, I knew I wasn't dreaming. I was remembering wrong. Or reality had started to forget me. It had no knob, just a keyhole, and a smell leaking out from underneath. Wet dirt, metal, like a cemetery after rain. I pressed my ear to it. Nothing at first. Then, a tapping. Click, click, click. Like fingernails. Or teeth. I tried to force it open. Screwdriver, crowbar, anything. The wall didn't break. It moved. Like I was pressing on skin. Like the house was trying to keep it shut. It finally gave way. Behind it, my hallway. But not mine. Darker. Wrong. The light bulbs buzzed. And at the end was my apartment door again. Flickering like a broken tape. I stepped in. The floor was carpeted, but it sounded like stone. My own footsteps came back late. My voice echoed before I finished speaking. The hallway was copying me, but not correctly. I passed portraits of me. Some recent, some older. One of them looked ancient. Another was rotting. Mouth open, eyes still moving. Then I heard it. A whisper I didn't recognize. Don't let it close. I turned. The door I came through was almost shut. I ran, but it closed before I got there. Darkness swallowed everything. No walls, no floor, just me, and a red light behind me. I turned. There was something there, standing, watching. I tried to scream. Nothing came out. The hallway twisted, spiraled like a drain, and I was falling. Down, 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 into the part of the story I was never supposed to reach.